You've heard the term everywhere, right? The creator economy. It is one of the biggest buzzwords out there, but what does it actually mean? And how in the world did it get so big? All right, let's get into it. First, to get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number. The creator economy is already a market worth over $100 billion. And get this, some reports say it could be closing in on $500 billion by 2027. So yeah, this is not just some niche hobby anymore. It is a massive economic force. So what exactly is it?
Okay, so what is the creator economy? Well, according to the venture firm Signalfire, it's way more than just influencers. Think of it as a whole ecosystem. You've got the creators, sure, but also the community builders and all the software and financial tools built just to support them. It's really a whole industry.
But this whole thing didn't just pop up out of nowhere. No way. It's actually been this nearly 20-year evolution, from people just sharing silly videos online to a brand new kind of entrepreneurship. The journey here is pretty fascinating. It all kind of kicks off in 2005 with YouTube, which you have to remember was just for sharing home videos at first. The real game changer came in 2007 with a partner program. That was the first time creators could actually get a cut of ad revenue. It basically validated this crazy idea that you could make money from your passion. And then, boom, in the mid-2010s, influencer marketing just exploded as brands finally realized how powerful it was to reach niche audiences through creators that people actually trust. So that's the history. But what about the mechanics? What makes this economy actually tick on a day-to-day basis? At its very core, it's all about providing value through content. And that value, it pretty much always falls into one of three buckets. You're either sharing knowledge, through a tutorial, you're providing entertainment with a funny skit, or, and this is so important, you're building a connection, making your viewers feel like they're part of a real community. And this is what makes creators so incredibly powerful. Unlike traditional media, they build this genuine person-to-person connection. Viewers actively choose to watch their stuff. They're not just passive consumers. And because of this, these amazing niche communities have popped up for literally every interest you can imagine, from plant talk to booktube. But the most powerful idea of all, the barrier to entry is so low that pretty much anyone can be a creator. Now, this is a really important distinction to make. The platforms themselves, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, they aren't the business. Think of them as the distribution channels. They're the enablers that connect a creator's work to a potential audience. The actual business is what the creator builds on top of all that. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from some of the pioneers. Michelle Phan, who was one of the first massive YouTube stars and then went on to found a billion-dollar company, she stresses that it's not just about fame. It's about this whole ecosystem of creatives and problem solvers working behind the scenes. And then you've got Jack Conte. He actually co-founded Patreon to solve a problem he had as a musician, how to get paid sustainably. His whole point is that the tools to create stuff have become so accessible that we're seeing this absolute explosion of people just making things and sharing them with the world. But to really get this economy, you have to look past the money. Hank Green, another foundational creator, makes this incredible point that for most people starting out, the motivation isn't money. It's something else entirely. It's that intrinsic reward of just making something, getting attention for it, and feeling that sense of achievement. Which brings us to a more balanced view. Because while the opportunity is absolutely immense, the day-to-day reality for most creators is, well, it's incredibly challenging. So here we are at the central tension of the creator economy. On one side, yes, it's easier than ever to create. There are totally new career paths, and we're seeing this creator middle class emerge that can make a real living. But on the other side of that coin, that ease of entry means fierce competition, making money can be super inconsistent, and there is this constant looming risk of burnout. And let's just focus on that last point for a second, because creator burnout is a very real crisis. This constant pressure to feed the algorithm, to post every day, chase every trend, to always be on, it is completely exhausting, and it's cutting a lot of promising creative careers way too short. So what's the path forward? How does this economy grow up and become sustainable? Well, it all seems to come down to one thing. It's a simple truth, really. The creator economy just does not exist without community. Views, subscribers, those are just metrics. The real, actual, lasting value is in the relationship between the creator and their community. That's the foundation of absolutely everything.
And you can already see this focus on community shaping the future. We see it in these massive collaborations like #TeamSeize, where creators bring their communities together for a huge cause. We see it in creator founders like Jack Conte and Michelle Phan, who are literally building the tools they wish they'd had. And the biggest shift of all is this move towards owning your community through things like newsletters and memberships instead of just renting an audience from a social media platform. So after all that, it really leaves us with one final, pretty important thought. This new economy is empowering a whole class of independent creatives to make a living from their passions and to do it on their own terms. It's democratizing entrepreneurship. So the only question left is, in an economy of creators, what will you create?